Business now. Yuka is with me here in the studio. Starting with Venezuela, aren't you, Yuka? Today may well be a day of reckoning, really, as the country edges closer to defaulting on its debt.
Well, Venezuelan officials are meeting with creditors in Caracas later today. The aim is to renegotiate about $60 billion in bonds. Caracas is seeking to restructure the public part of its total debt mountain, estimated at $150 billion. That includes government bonds and debt issued by state oil company PDVSA. The Committee of Venezuelan Creditors met last week and postponed until Monday a decision on whether PDVSA has defaulted on its debt. This after a crucial $1.1 billion payment was reported as finally being on its way. President Nicolas Maduro dismisses fears of a default. Take a listen.
They're betting that Venezuela will default. But Venezuela will never default. It will never happen. Venezuela will always have a clear strategy, and now our strategy is to renegotiate and refinance all of Venezuela's external debt, because we will not continue down this road.
Talk about the aviation industry now. The Dubai Airshow has kicked off this weekend. Boeing is leading the order books race there.
Emirates has ordered about 40 Boeing 787 Dreamliners worth around $15 billion. The airline's chairman says it also considered the Airbus A350 but decided to pick the Boeing model instead. Although it has lost out on that competition, the European playmaker is waiting for orders for its A380 Superjumbers. This just show is marked by the absence of Qatar Airways. This comes after 4 Arab nations cut diplomatic relations with Qatar in June over its ties with Iran and closed their airspace to Qatari aeroplanes. One analyst says this year's event is overshadowed by political uncertainty.
What it reflects more, I think, is the political instability in the region at the moment than the aeropolitical instability. Qatar not being here clearly means that there'll be fewer orders, but what it does do is leave open the very big question of what are the political ramifications.
Andrew Charlton there. Quick look at the markets then, Yuka.
Asian shares are mixed this Monday amid concern over Venezuela's debt crisis. Tokyo's Nikkei closed down more than 1%, hit by a delay in US corporate tax cuts. Investors look ahead to a week of data releases, including Japan's factory output and US inflation and retail reports. And that brings up to date in business.
Thank you very much, Yuka. Yuka with Business on France 24. Next half hour of the programme, continuing to follow that 2 years since the terror attacks here in Paris, which killed 130, injured more than 350. We're talking to some of those most directly affected by what happened. I have a guest here in the studio as well in the next half hour.